Hi guys, in this video we're going to talk about the combination of CFA with your bachelor's degree and how whether you're in the you've just given your 12th, you're in your first, second or third year, how you should plan your BCom, your bachelor's degree with CFA. So before we start, there's one thing I want to make clear. People say that BFM, which is a very Mumbai-based degree, is better for CFA than BCom. Similarly, BAF is better for CA than BFM or BCom. If you're in Delhi, BBA versus BCom, people choose BCom because BBA is a little difficult. I want to make it very clear that if you are going to pursue CFA, then your BCom or BBA or BFM or BAF or BMS does not matter. It's important that the college which you're studying in for any of these bachelor's degree gives you a little bit of flexibility and freedom to study, to take exam leaves, and hopefully a little bit of less stress on attendance. But even if they don't, it's very manageable. So don't choose CFA based on your BCom or BBA or BFM. You make sure that if you've made up your mind to do CFA, you're going to do that. And the rest of the degrees, whichever you get, decide a good college and just get enrolled. So for the rest of the entire video, whenever I'm going to say CFA plus BCom, when I say BCom, I technically mean all bachelor's degrees. So if you're in grade 12, and you're thinking whether you want to do CFA and, with that BCom or any of the bachelor's degree, first point is it's very good that you're already excited, but be sure that CFA is something that you're excited about. You know what it's about, because if you're in your 12th, the earliest as you'll understand you can start studying will be 1.5 years from now, which means the interest and excitement of CFA has to sustain for a long period of time. Otherwise, you'll forget about it. So if you like finance, talk to people who've completed CFA, sit in a couple of basic lectures which explain you some subject and see at that stage if you like it. Because even if you don't understand but you enjoy it, you'll at least have the energy to wait it out for a year and a half before really starting it. So that's if you're in your 12th. Now let's say you're in your first year of bachelor's degree. You've taken BCom or any of the other bachelors and you want to do CFA. This is the most dangerous position for most people, because should you start studying, you're going to be eligible for CFA in your third year. If you're in your first year, that's 2 years away, and the only thing you can study for in CFA is level 1. So should you start studying? Now, unfortunately, most people make a mistake. They decide, no, I'll wait for 2 years, and I'll chill for 2 years. And subconsciously, they basically think that, it's going to be fine. They made a good plan and they all start wasting energy and effort in the balance in your first year and second year. So if you're in your first year, and of course, it is too soon to start. I agree with that as well, right? You can't study for 2 years just for level 1. So what should you do in your first year? In your first year, make up your mind you're going to do CFA and take up non-CFA but financially investment related courses. So study short-term courses on investments, study Excel, right? Study a little bit of finance courses. There are really a lot of them available. Or take 10,000 rupees from your dad and start investing it a little bit in the stock market without blowing it all away, just for practice. Do something which is productive, which is keeping you in a zone of learning, in a discomfort zone, so that you don't really, lose all the energy and the vigor you have to study. Because you just gave your 12th, you take a break. If you don't get back into the zone of studying, it's going to be really difficult to get back at the end of your bachelor's. So that is what you should do in your first year. Do something else while keeping the plan of studying CFA. Now, when you come in your second year, or if you already are in your second year, this is where it matters the most for you if you pre-decided CFA. Second year, I'm going to split second year in two parts, whether it's the first half of the second year or the second half. If you're in the first half, meaning you just came in your second year, it's fine. Get started with CFA. On an average, it takes 6 months to study for CFA level 1, average. If you start studying and you finish it, let's say halfway through your second year, you're going to need another minimum 6-8 months before you're eligible. So what do? You study for CFA, and then in those 6-8 months, all you do is peacefully, calmly, without that last minute panic, you give mock exams. Right? You revise, you test yourself, and you keep giving mock exams. So for example, at the end of the first 6-month period, okay, you studied, you've taken training, you studied by yourself, and you're ready, but you're not eligible. So you give the first mock. Let's say you get, 50%, right? Study again, give the second one, and the third, and the fourth. By the 5th or 6th mock, there is no chance that you should be scoring less than 80%, 75%, 85%. And that's it. Once you reach that stage, do you think giving the final exam will be a challenge? It'll simplify not only passing level 1, but your entire base for CFA will strengthen. Second, you will not lose yourself in a zone of comfort and, struggle really hard to study level 1. So if you're in your second year right now, whether you're in the first half of the second year or the second half, start studying for CFA level 1. It's the right time. This is the real freedom you will have to study without too much of exam pressure, too much of career pressure. And finally, if you're in your third year, now, as you know, if you're in your third year, you are already eligible. So it's quite simple here. Just start studying for CFA, no matter where you are. Give the attempt, which is the next attempt 6 months from now, and just start studying for level 1. That's it. There is no two ways about it. So this is how you should treat, depending on whether you're in your 12th, first year, second year, or third year of BCom, how you should study or how you should plan for CFA. Lastly, to conclude, within all these 3 years, if you are of the caliber, if you have the aspiration, start doing basic internships or start working in a finance company. You can work in a boutique corporate finance firm. There are just a lot of options that you have to learn about it. And going to college, studying for CFA level 1 and working. People feel, oh my God, how do I do so much? It's not that hard. So as long as you have that eagerness to study, I would suggest, along with the plan of when to start CFA, also start working as much as you can. By the time you graduate, not only will you have your bachelor's degree, you will hopefully be done with CFA level 1. And if you've had work experience and in your first year you studied any small certification or short-term course, you become absolutely undefeatable by the time you graduate.